Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy and this is Disciple Makers. This is a place where we are courageously striving to multiply followers of Jesus Christ. I'm standing in front of a cross. This has become one of the most common, well-known, recognizable symbols in all of the human story. But before Jesus went to the cross and paid the penalty for our sins once and for all, this cross was just simply a sign of an executionary tool. It was a symbol of what people used to put people to death. When you committed a crime, you were forced to pay the penalty for that crime. And if the crime was bad enough, they would hang you on a cross. And what they would often do in Roman culture and Roman society was the person, the criminal being put on the cross, would have to be forced to carry their cross to the place where they put it in the ground and they hung them on it. These crosses were heavy, and I'm sure that was after they had been beaten, much like Jesus went through all of that pain and anguish. And so to carry that cross must have been such a burden to bear and so amazingly difficult for them to have to do. But Jesus, incredibly, before he went through all of that, before the cross became this common symbol, before this cross kind of became a symbol of victory and defeat of sin once and for all, Jesus said these really incredibly difficult words to his disciples. In fact, this is kind of like a warning message to us all. Like, this is hard. These are big words from Jesus. These are words that maybe we're tempted to just glance right by because maybe we don't fully comprehend it, or it just seems hard and not necessarily what we want to do as we follow Jesus. But Jesus says to his disciples, those like us who are trying to follow him, he said to them all, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me." And then he says, "Whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will save it." These are pretty shocking words that before this would become this heroic symbol of victory, it was just a Roman executionary tool when Jesus said these words. But he says to his disciples, take up your cross daily and follow me. And I'm sure his disciples, much like us today, is like, wait, Jesus, you want me to physically die? And of course, Jesus didn't want them to physically die. But Jesus' words here in clarification are so important. This idea, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will save it. I think what Jesus is ultimately saying here is that when we come to the end of ourselves, that's when Jesus can fully enter in. When we deny ourselves and our wants and our needs and all the things that we are so often putting on a pedestal, that it's all about me and what can I get out of this. That, when we set those things aside, Jesus is saying that's when Jesus, can fully enter in. And so for us, I know so often we want to follow Jesus. We think the world of Jesus. We think Jesus has so much good to offer us. But what we often want to do is just add Jesus on top of what we already want. Jeremy, I want this for me. And so how can I fit in a little Jesus with the me-centered life that I'm trying to live? But Jesus says, no, deny yourself, carry your cross, and follow me. And so what is it for us as we are following Jesus that we can deny ourselves? What is it that we can come or need to come to the end of me so Jesus can fully enter in and take a hold of our lives in the way that he ultimately wants to? So my prayer for myself, my prayer for us here at Disciple Makers is that we can come to the end of ourselves and that we can fully let Jesus in. Not a Jesus where we want ultimately what we want and using Jesus to get what we want from him, but a way to say it's the end of me and the beginning of fully letting Jesus in. And so, Disciple Makers, let us encourage one another in our pursuit of following Jesus. Let's go be disciples of Jesus and let's courageously make disciples of Jesus. Let's go.